So here we are going to learn how we can call these functions and pass through few values on to these functions so that they can work on that values and give us the result. So like we saw that I have to give two numbers so that I can use these functions. 2 plus 3. So I have given input to this function. So then this function calculates something and give me the result. Correct? So we are taking examples of only two values. So let's suppose this is your main script and you have defined these functions. There are four functions: addition, subtraction, multiply, and division. These are defined. So in this box, there is a logic that it will take two numbers and will add it and will give you the result. So same way in subtraction, multiply, and division blocks, there in these functions, there is a logic written that it will take two numbers and give you subtraction result of that numbers, and multiply and division also will work the same way. So how we will be calling these functions? Let's suppose I want to call addition function. I have to give two values. Okay. I have to give two values. So what will happen? In this, $1 will be considered as 2 and $2 will be considered as 5. Say this will act as a mini script. Like we have learned, right? In script, we can pass parameters, positional parameters. So let's suppose this is the script, calculate.sh. Okay. I'm calling two numbers and 2 and 5. So these are the positional parameters to the script. Okay. But what will happen now? You have four functions. You want to call addition. Okay. Addition, you have to send two values to the function, this function, right? So when this command is getting executed on the terminal, try to understand that one. Okay. When you will execute this command, script will have two numbers. Script will have two numbers, that is $1 and $2. So $1 in this case is 2 and $2 is 5. Same thing you will be passing on to this function. Okay. So you will say $1 and $2. So what you are doing here, you are calling this function and you are also sending two numbers. So this function will consume two numbers and will work on that. How this function will consume these two numbers? In this function also, it is written that $1 is the first value, $2 is the second value, and it will calculate the result. So with the help of this particular process, we will be passing arguments to the functions and we'll be working on the logic. Okay, let me show you an example. I want to print a custom message. I want to print a custom message. So I'm creating one function called print my message. So I'm defining one variable called message here. So I'm calling this I want to call this function. Print my message. So as I see, this function is expecting one value to be passed to this. And that value we will be saving in this variable, and this variable will be printed further. So it means I have to pass this value $1 or whatever is the value. So what I will do here, try to understand this. This is the shell. These are comments. So this is my function definition. So let's suppose I'm executing this script like this, and I'm just giving one value called hello. So this is position number 1. This is first parameter to the script. So if you see, read the script, $1 will be replaced by this thing. Okay. Function is separate and the script is separate. This is function definition. If you want to call this, because this is the message which I am sending, but in this particular script, this is the function that actually prints the message. So this function has a capability that it will take whatever value you will pass and it will print it in the form of a message. Okay. So execution starts. This is the definition, that is okay. But this is the function where you are calling. This is the place where you are calling this function. You are calling this function and also sending one value, which is sent by user. $1 in this case is hello. Print my message hello. It will go here. For this function, this value is $1. Okay. This is one value which you are passing to this function at position number 1. So when you go inside this function, that will be taken here and it will be printing. Are you guys with me on this? So print my message also is expecting one variable. You can pass this because this is coming from the user. We'll just send it as it is. Here, the same value that is at position number 1 will be consumed here and will be printed. Okay. If I'm doing this, okay, so this was the previous execution. Chmod plus X, print custom message. So if you will print world, it will print world. If you will print hello, it will print hello. Okay. So it is doing something like this. You got these two values. These two values, you are passing it here. And in this function, there is something called $1, $2. $1 will be the first value that is coming. $2 will be the second value that is coming. Okay. So let's suppose I'm sending 3 messages. I'm sending 2 messages. Hello world. In this case, this is $1 and this is $2. Correct? So, but $2 is not used anywhere. So what I'm going to do, modify this script a bit. So now I am sending $2 this function, $2 to the function. Okay. Here I'm calling print my message. Here it will be replaced by world. World goes to this particular function as it is. When I'm calling this function, this particular value is the first parameter that will be ingested here. But to the script, it is the second parameter. Try to understand that. Function is also acting as a mini script here. Okay. So let me send this. Let me modify this a bit. I will change this message to $2. Okay. Sorry, $1. So print my message. Check that. when I'm calling this script like this, hello world. So this is $1 and this is $2 for the script. So after that, when I'm inside the script, these two values are consumed. To this function, I'm only sending the second value. Okay. So at this point, line number 12, it will be print my message world. World will be sent to this function. This function will take that. And when I'm calling this function, this is the first parameter now. So that it takes in this variable and it prints it. Okay. This is how we can use that. So now we will give you few examples. Calculate.sh with the help of actual so there will be one function called add. I will be writing my logic here. There will be one function called subtract. I will be adding my logic here. Okay. There will be one function called multiply. I will be adding my logic here. There will be function called divide. I will be adding my logic here. So once these four functions are defined, I'll be using that. Okay. So let's suppose I'm giving two numbers to this. So for function, okay, for this function, okay, I'm defining two numbers, num_1, num_2. Okay. So I will pass two numbers to add. Number one will be $1, number two will be $2. After that, I will be having one variable called result, which will calculate these two, which will calculate addition for these two numbers. Okay, and then print it. Echo the result of addition is $result. Okay. So this is, I've created an independent function. Okay. Same thing I will be copy pasting here. Okay. So only one small thing will change. This will be minus and this will be subtraction. Same thing will be here. So this will be multiplication and everything else is same. Same way. Okay. So in this script, sorry, let's review and analyze what we have done. So in this script, this is the shell which my script will be using. These are commands, and I have defined 4 functions. This is function number 1 that only takes 2 numbers and calculates addition of 2 numbers and prints the result. This is the second function which takes 2 numbers. It just needs 2 numbers and it calculates the result and printed it from same way, multiply and divide. So it is very good practice to add comments. Okay. Why? You can copy paste it like this. P. So it is always good to add comments. It improves the readability for your code. Yeah. So now the thing is, here you have to call these functions. How you will be calling these functions? So main script will be giving you 2 numbers, that is $1 and $2. You will be consuming that. After that, you will be passing these 2 values which are given by the user to these functions. Let's suppose I only want to do multiply. I will send it to multiply function. So multiply function will take these 2 numbers. So yeah, in this multiply function, I have already written a logic that 2 numbers will be coming in. These 2 variables will be ingesting that and will be working on that. Correct? Are you guys with me on this? So, and then it will be executing. Let's check that. So I am sending 2 numbers, 7 and 5. Okay. So 7 and 5 multiply by 7 multiplied by 5 is 35. So why only multiplication is printed? Because your script starts from here. These are only functions that are defined, but they are not used. So here you will be using that. This is the multiply button I have clicked and I have given 2 numbers. It goes to this multiply function, gives me the answer. That's it. Okay. So let me add a few more things. So I can call my functions in any order. Okay. So add $1 and $2. Subtract $2, $1. You can give numbers in any order because in this script, in this function, it is taking 2 numbers. When let's suppose you are calling this like this, so $2 is something else. So when you will be calling the subtract function, this is at position number 1, it will go to number underscore 1. This is at position 2, this will go to position 2. Just for your understanding, we will just go in the regular sequence. Okay. So here I'm calling these 3 functions in this order. Okay. So let me add okay. I'm giving 2 numbers, 7 and 6. So multiplication is calculated, addition is calculated, and subtraction is calculated. Make sense? This is what we have learned about positional parameters. So when we are doing this, position number 1 and position number 2, this is given to the script. Internally, script passes these 2 numbers to these functions where it actually performs the calculation, where the logic is written for that particular function. So this particular script is one of the best examples to learn functions. Functions will make there are 4 modules. There are 4 features this my script is providing: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So they take 2 numbers. You give this script a number, it takes it and gives you the result. Same way, you can do whatever you want. You can call this function as many times. Okay, you can reuse the code. Okay, so let me show you one more thing here. So I'm just defining one basic function, the print message. It simply just gives you this thing, that's it. And I'm calling this function before execution. Print underscore message is not asking for any arguments, any parameters. I'm calling this function. And again, I'm calling this function. I don't have to repeat that thing again. So what will happen? It will go to this function, execute that, performs the task, again go to that function, executes that. So what all is written in this? I have only written once. So I'm reusing it multiple times by just calling it like this. So this script is having 5 functions: number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5. So I'm calling this. Before you call these functions, it is very important that these functions definitions are already there, defined beforehand. Okay, calculate 4 and 6. So this is printed. Function number 1 got executed, function number 2, function number 3, and then printed again. Okay, thank you.